My Lady Jane is a popular show that people adore back in 2024, and even now there are still lots of fans who want to see another season of this show. I only watch it now, it's not as relevant as it was a year before, but honestly, I can see why it caught so much attention. The mix of humor, romance, and that playful twist on history makes it really stand out. And even so I'm late to the party, it still feels fresh and entertaining to watch now. If you don't want to watch it fully or don't know if it's worth it, I'm here to tell you. But before we start, I'll ask you to like this video if you watched this show or are going to watch. We start with a scene of a beautiful woman who's going to shave another woman's intimate zone. Okay, we're just getting to know our main character, and it's obviously Jane, who's clever, playful, strong, independent, and doesn't want to have a husband. We see her family, two sisters and her mother. They don't have the best relationships with each other. Her father is dead, and since in the house there should be a man, her great uncle, once removed, is now the leader of the family. Anyway, Jane from the start is already arguing with this man because he thinks women should only be married and have children, nothing more. Jane is shocked by this news, so she has a fight with her uncle and her mother. As a result, her mother burns Jane's book. Our main character decides she wants her life to belong only to her, so she runs away with a servant, but sadly, her mother catches them and wants to kill the maid. But then, plot twist, the maid turns into a hawk. Yes, a hawk. You see, in this world some people can turn into animals, and Lady Jane adores this power. But we should go back to Jane's life, where she is about to marry a man who bullies children. Jane is offended and furious, but it's not that simple about this man. She decides to go to the king, her cousin, hoping he might help her with this problem, but the king says she should marry for her safety. Then we see the king isn't quite fine. He faints in front of the family and Jane saves him. Mary, who in history is Queen Mary first, is not happy about this. We see that these two women are rivals. After some time, Lady Jane runs away again, this time to a pub so no one will find her. There she meets a man not very gallant,
Wow.
but definitely interesting. Then we see a big fight between soldiers and people who can turn into animals. Jane meets her mate again, but the girl vanishes. Jane also has a little romance moment with this mysterious man. She keeps thinking about him over and over in her mind. She can't forget her mate from the pub, but at the end of the day, she's going to be married. She meets her fiancé in the church. It turns out to be the same man from the pub. Jane is literally shocked and faints right in front of him, and that was only the first episode. If you don't like it yet, maybe I'm not retelling it as exciting as it really is, because trust me, the series caught me so much. In the next episodes, we see Lady Jane getting married, and of course her marriage is struggling because she's not like others, she won't obey. Her brand new husband is cold, distant, and he is a horse. Literally. Jane's mother, meanwhile, finds herself a friend. Well, a really good one. King Edward is talking to the dog girl, who says that he's been food poisoned. Mary and Seymour have a strange connection, and Mary kicking Lord Dudley is hilarious. They made this woman so funny. But anyway, back to Jane. She wants to help Guilford, her husband, because he's turning into a horse in the daylight and cannot change back even when he really wants to. Jane and Guilford start getting close to each other and fell in love. Even with all the problems around them, nothing can beat their love. It's intense, interesting, and full of chemistry. Meanwhile, Mary and Seymour plan to kill the king. They think he's dead and make everyone else believe it too, but he isn't. Back to our main character, Jane tries to fix her mistake with Susanna, her ex-maid, but instead finds bigger problems. As her cousin Edward dies, Jane is now the remaining queen and suddenly has a lot of rivals. But first she must deal with her council, who are literally fighting and beating each other. Then she has to solve secret about Edward's death. And of course there is a looming problem of Lord Seymour and Princess Mary, who want to put Jane to death. But Jane is not the type of girl to give up. She uses her intelligence and her courage to outsmart the people around her. Her love story with Guilford keeps developing. It's not the typical historical drama, it's sharp, hilarious, and sometimes absurd in the best way. The romance balances all the political scheming and danger with warmth and patience. Also in this show we have not only Jane and Guilford, there are also some characters that have interesting plot lines, like the Grey sisters, Catherine and Margaret, who share a strong bond and are always there to help their eldest sister. My own favorite is Margaret. Her lines are literally killing me.
Margaret, what? You're 10. Beer only. I love wine.
There is Francis, Jane's mother, Lord Dudley, who's the father of Guilford, and his other son. What's more, there is actually another Tudor woman, Elizabeth or Beth, who has an interesting storyline and also a good bond with the Ethian girl, where they both try to help each other. Of course, I must remind you about King Edward, who is trying to get back on his throne, and there are more and more characters that I want to tell you about, but sadly, this video has its own time limits. Let's return again to Jane. As in history, her fall was so expected and so sad. She was imprisoned, and her husband too. Mary's claim to the throne unstoppable, but Jane had the support of the court and of the people around her. We see how Jane had so many chances to escape, but she didn't, just because the ways were horrible and she was a nice person, just like her husband, who didn't escape with his father and chose to stay and fight. In the end, we see our precious lady on the chopping block. Guilford is going to be burned, so we unfortunately wait for their end. But then comes the Ethians. They help our couple escape. Also, Guilford finally finds the cure to his curse, and it's love. After he turns into a horse, they run away. In another scene, we see that Mary is still queen. Francis and Stan find love, King Edward with his lover, and Catherine Grey with Lord Seymour's son as well. Guilford Dudley and Jane found true love and stayed together forever. In the end, for a short show, this one has so much potential. Interesting storylines, beautiful characters, historical and fantasy dramas, perfect cast, stunning dresses, and a worked out story that warmed my heart. I highly recommend watching it if you like dramas, fantasy, or some historical figures. It doesn't take itself too seriously, mixing history and nonsense in a way that feels fresh and fun. The humor, romance, and costumes make it unforgettable, and honestly, it leaves you wanting more. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I want to hear your thoughts in the comments about this show. Did it take your heart as well, or left misunderstood in your mind? Anyway, see you later guys. Bye.